It's Wednesday, May the 20th, 2026. I'm at what I'm calling the Three Peaks Trailhead in Menifee, California. And I'm going to do a loop hike around these peaks for the first time. So that's Menifee Road going right across. And way over there is San Jacinto. Not the Four Peak, but in the back somewhere. It's about 70 degrees right now, and probably around 8 o'clock. All right, let's see what this loop feels like. Looks kind of steep over there. Guess we'll find out. Should be a little over 3 miles. And this hike is on the All Trails app. Okay, well, I'm about 3/4 of the way up this beginning climb, which is pretty steep. I don't know if you can get any idea, but I started way down there in that parking lot. I'm going to be going over through some of those hills, and I still have to go up to the knob up there at least. Hard to know for sure since this is my first time on this track. But yeah, it's a calorie burner right out of the gate, going clockwise anyway. All right, here we go. Well, I'm up at this first knob. There's the next one over there. Well, that was a little bit of work. I've noticed on the way up that there looks like a series of paths people have walked in to switch back up this ridge rather than to walk the center of the ridge up like I just did, so I'll have to explore those later. Alright, get this next knob. And my RV park is right over there. These trees. Hard to see, it's kind of hazy today. I think there are a few fires burning around this valley. That's probably what's doing it. There's that switchback trail that I was referring to. I'll definitely be investigating that in future hikes. Just to give it a little more distance, and it's usually a little easier to switch back up than to walk straight at the fall line. And my thermo drop says 81 degrees right here, right now. It's probably about 8:45. I started about 8:40. Well, actually, it's a little later than that. It's closer to 9 now. Like most of this track on All Trails is an old double track dirt road, probably used for fires and stuff like that. But I see a lot of single tracks on the side of the hill and whatnot, so that just gives something to explore in the future. Right, I'm up at the top of these first 2 knobs. I think I've come up just about 300 feet in elevation. Looks like I'm headed over yonder. There's a white post on the top of that center knob. That's probably one of the 3 peaks. And there's another one, and I think that might be another one over there. So this isn't even one of the peaks where I'm standing here, I don't think. But pretty good view. That's got to be Jacinto center screen way over. And Big Bear center screen that way over. Pretty good view of the Moreno Valley. Temecula is down that way. Okay, well, I've made it up to the top of another steep section, but I'm still not at the first peak yet. That's it over there, center screen. And then I guess I'd come back down and take a splitter trail along that ridge. I think it ties back into this fire road. Whew! Yeah, still feeling pretty good, but clearly it's working me going up these steep hills. All right, so Thousand Trails RV Park, my home for the moment, is there. And Bell Mountain is right there. Hiked up to that. That's not as high as this, though. And this circuit is, I think it's going to be definitely more work than that. Although I'll reserve final judgment till the end of this. All right, more up. And my starting weight, carry weight anyway, of my little Trail 25 was 13 pounds. At least half of that is water. So, trying to get an idea of what my ultralight kit will feel like on trail with food and water. All right, I'm here at this junction. I believe that straight ahead is up to the cross at the knob up there, one of the three peaks. And this, I believe, is what I'll come back down to and continue the loop. Boy, if that's the access to that other peak, that is straight up. Oh man, looks like there's a few things off to the right that might be a little better. I don't know whether I'll do that today or not. I'll have to see how I feel when I get there. Okay, well, I've come up to another little fork here, which I'll use later here to go over. All right, made it to the first of the three peaks. Looking west direction, sweeping around. Now we're looking down towards Temecula. And now over towards San Jacinto and Big Bear. And right in front of me is the second of the three peaks, and the third is over there. So let's see if we can do that. All right, it is now 84 degrees with a little bit of a breeze, so not too bad. I'm up on a loop called the Three Peaks Loop. I'm standing on Peak 1 with Peak 3 and Peak 2. And Big Bear way the hell over there. There's San Jacinto over there. And Wilderness Lake Park is center screen over that way. All right, coming off the first peak, I don't know which is worse, burning the calories coming up or trying not to slip with my mostly worn out ultras on the way down. I guess slow and steady is the key. All right, here we go. All right, I'm approaching the second of the three peaks. You can see there's a couple single tracks going up to the top, but I'm hoping that my route is going to be possibly a little less aggressive around the right side somewhere. I can see a couple of people I just talked to that are headed over on that flank, so that must be it. So I'll get a little bit of a break here, traversing the hillside before I need to start up again. And then over there is the third peak, which is not quite as bad. At least it doesn't look like it. All right, so this little junction here, you can see the mountain goat route going straight up to the top. I'm going off to the right, and then somehow up. Well, there's the third peak, which I have to get up this one first. But, well, look at all the single track coming down the side of that. I wonder if the double track goes up over the top and connects in. I'll have to see what All Trail sees like, but that's fine if it does. That's what I want to do today. But yeah, that's single track. That could be a good different day route. All right, huffing and puffing. I'm up to the second peak of the three. And there's the first one there. And the third one is over there. So once I get down this steep grade from this one, I'm hoping things will be a little more enjoyable. I guess I'll find out. There's a panorama from the top of Peak 2, looking west, north, south. All right, well, I just made it down that descent, and what I did is I took where I could see there was places where people had walked off to the side of the main track. So the footing was much better, more rocks to brace against and whatnot. So I made it down without any slips. So I'm happy about that. All right, let's bounce our way over to the third peak. And right here, this is before the junction, but 2.16 miles to this point, including going up to the last two peaks. Huffing puffing up that little steep section there. There's first peak, second peak, and the third peak. And my truck is center frame just this side of the highway. All right, so I should be coming up to some kind of a junction here. I thought on All Trails. I have to check it out here. Here it is, going right down. I'll probably go back the way I came down this little short steep to the dirt road and come around the side, so I eventually end up down there. For right now, we're gonna walk over to Peak 3 and then come back here. All right, the last huff and puff. Peak 3. San Jacinto way over there. And Wilderness Lakes RV Park, center screen, a bunch of trees. Just to the right, Bell Mountain. Down below, I don't know what that is, some kind of a target range maybe? I don't know what that is. Anyway, my truck is in the lot just beyond it. Okay, catch my breath and then go back to the double track road below me. All right, last short but decently steep downhill to the dirt road. Here we go. It looks like I'm back on single track here to somehow connect up to the double track dirt road below me. I hopefully can see it from this upcoming turn. Okay, this is opening up a bit as I descend down to that double track down there. I guess technically I may be on a double track here, an old one. In a minute I'll get a look at the All Trails line that comes down from just this side of the Peak 3. A local suggested I take this route rather than drop off down the steeper part, I guess. All right, coming up here, maybe 100 plus yards, or actually a little less. There's a single track that looks like it drops down to the parking area. All right, I'm back, 3.4 miles. Temperatures range between the mid 70s to low 90s. And that was definitely a rather hard 3.4. There were several ups and some technical downs. Anyway, the Menifee Hills, over and out.